Hi everyone, happy Monday. It is June 9th, 2025. It's been about 2 weeks since I've posted, and I know this because I spoke to my mom on the way. I'm getting something from these cards, so I'll leave them here. But I called my mom on the way home from a job I did today, and she's like, I haven't seen you posting in a while, but that also reminds me to be diligent as I do today's spread. But I need to work on the SEO optimization of the channel, so I'm kind of working on that. I'm kind of just adjusting the channel at this time, and the energy really, and throughout the channel. With that being said, I was listening to a tarot reader, and she was mentioning, I've listened to her for about maybe 2 years now, or about a year and a half, that her videos had never been taken down, but recently they have been starting to be they're getting taken down, and I think because of the nudity in the cards, as she so said. So technically 5 of these cards do contain nudity. But so with that being said, I'm going to try to cover them up, but I'm either deciding to see, I was thinking about getting some stickers to put on, and if I don't do that, I have been looking at decks for a while now, but there's still nothing that's quite resonated with me, and then of course I have to keep into account the nudity. So anyway, let's get into it. I have kind of restructured a little bit. So on Mondays, we're going to be doing a weekly energetic update. So let's begin. Now, I was just shuffling the cards, but the 7 of Pentacles came out with Major Arcana Temperance. So definitely right off the bat, excuse me, definitely right off the bat, there's something right to be said here with the Temperance in terms of there's something here you're either trying to, it's like you're trying to balance the energy, okay, in your day-to-day. In terms of, it's like what you want to truly bring forth, like what do you truly want to harvest with your life. And it's like it doesn't even necessarily need to be just money, right? Pentacles, and you can see what I'm really picking up on here when I say like harvest, but I was just really picking up on the way again, the harvest, the rise, the crescendo, I want to say, for some reason. And in this specific sun here behind the mountain, I really never really touched on that one, but it's just really like popping out to me. It's like you want to create something here, essentially. And there was something recently, I just heard messages recently about seeds. And so, what kind of seed do you want to plant, at this time? What seeds are you planting at this time? Like what, again, what you want to bring forth. And guys, Page of Wands with the Page of Swords, you have creativity brewing. And you also have a lot to say, right? I mean, you there's a way that you want to create. There's a way that you want to do things. Like you have that vision. There could be, of course, you can see here in the 7 of Pentacles in the character's expression. It's kind of like, you're doing the thing. It's like, I feel like you guys, wow, I mean, there's just so many powerful messages popping up here. You may be, you're definitely judging whatever it is, though, that you want to create. You may have been sitting on this energy for a while. You may have been chatting with people about it here and there. I don't feel like a lot, but, to those that are close to you. But nothing has quite been, nothing I feel like has necessarily been done here yet. There's just been a lot of talk. There's so much energy here, but you want to do things right. It's like you guys are a perfectionist. I mean, And I do feel, I feel like I'm talking to a lot of feminines right now, okay? Not just because of the feminine energy here, but also specifically the triangle. And I think I've said in one video where I did, the triangle stood out to me, but I wasn't 100%, like, I don't know exactly what this is supposed to signify, but for me, this does signify femininity. And I'm just gonna throw it out there, I'm a big music lover. I mean, the amount of, I feel like that's truly where I started getting the majority of my downloads was through music and through lyrics. It's it's just, it's hard to explain kind of thing. Well, I don't really know where I was now going with all that, but, oh yeah, feminine, music, okay. There is a song by Alt J, and it's great, and I did find Alt J, which was roughly around 2021, around the start of 2021. I was shocked that I hadn't discovered them sooner. So Alt J, I really love them. I'll definitely have to post a song from them today for today's jam. But yeah, so ALT-J, that's the group. And there's a song specifically called Tessellate, and I had looked up the lyrics once, and he speaks to a triangle, and the fact that the triangle is his favorite shape, a point where two lines meet. Now, the lyrics, I don't recall if the artist intended that to be, I think, or if it was someone's interpretation, but to essentially mean, right, that the female organ, if you will, right, the triangle. So I hope y'all can put two and two together there, but that shouldn't be too difficult. But it's interesting, like, it's like what I see here. And see, as I've just been flashing cards, of course I haven't been looking out for the nudity, so it's going to be tough for me, guys, so I'm just going to go with it until either A, I get a new deck, or B, I get, perhaps, like I said, some stickers that I can put on there, and I highly doubt it's going to get in the way of shuffling, but we'll see. I have to contemplate on that a bit longer. So, but what I'm seeing here is almost just so beautiful. It's like the cards are just saying, go for it. Like, I'm gonna just, let me do this, and I want y'all to look, and I'm gonna give you a chance to see if you see what I'm seeing. It's just, it's tough, right, to get everything in there. Let me do it like this. I appreciate y'all's patience. But if you can just take a look and see if anything stands out to you particularly. But to me, right off the bat, and actually as I have the cards to the back of me, I thought of something else. 1111, that could be a hint. But in each card, you can see that the character, right, it's like they're raising up their sword, their staff, their wand, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, go for it, whatever you're in. It's like, go with it with your authenticity, your communication, your, Anyway, sorry, as I'm I'm like, we're all getting into it. How long have we been recording? Does that say 19? Okay, let's just do a couple shuffles here, and then let's touch on the weekly energetic update. But guys, I mean, that's just, we'll just go with the flow here. High Priestess, Major Arcana number 2 wants to make a show. So maybe a call for some of you to, implement again. Like, I hope y'all can see that. That it just fell the same way it did the last time. So this, like, double confirmation here. What I was about to say is, like, it's like you're being called to implement implement your spirituality a little bit more. Like, that's not quite how I want to say it. Like, you could, you're spiritual, right? Your third eye has been open. But, what spiritual practices are you really ingraining in your day-to-day, perhaps? It took me some time to really get around to meditating. But once I did it, like literally on the first day, I was like, I don't know how I waited so long. And it's just like working out. If you're finally on that path of really good self-discipline, and say you're working out all the time, there's going to be those times you may miss a week or two, but you want to get back to it because you love it so much. It's a part of your routine. So with the Tower with the Four Swords, a lot of us in the collective have definitely dealt with the Tower situation, especially with in the area of love. But this is really just a time where I think a lot of us are still not quite out. Like, we're good, right? We're finally like breathing, cleaner air, it feels like, right? But there's still some things to work out through, and I think that's where that the message of spirituality. So I guess technically there are some messages, guys, but what I wanted to pull for today, which I just pulled up here. Oh yeah. We're just gonna take a look at the overall energy, okay, for this week. Challenges, opportunities, and advice, okay? So we're just going to pull 4 cards. Typically, I would pull, maybe, and I might still pull extra, but because the pre-shuffles, there's just so much to, I think just, Source, your guides have things that they want to tell you. 2 of Wands. Yep, it's something about you're planning, guys. You're definitely in that planning stage. Like I said, with the Temperance, you're trying to balance everything out. You're planning, but it's like you have. It's like the character has the world in their hand. They are looking off into the distance, though. So understand that you already have what you want. That's really the thing, is like just. And that's really where it's like, working on, what was I talking about, like in my last video? Not quite the law of attraction, like that's great and all, but the law of assumption. All right, let's get into it. Overall energy. There's the Star. That was beautiful. Another one came out, so we're going to take the both of those. Challenges, opportunities, advice. Okay. That's why we kept seeing the High Priestess come out, or we saw it twice in a row. There's an imbalance. There's an imbalance in terms of the way that you've been approaching your desires. I'll say, I was about to say your manifestations, but really it just instantly, I was told to say desires, or I felt the need to say desires. So that's a very important message there, guys. Let's just take a look. Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords. Okay. This can speak to, again, communication, right? Or even gossip. This can also speak to contracts. The fact that it's coming in, we're just talking about something that you want to pursue, something that you're planting the seeds. So this could be talking about ending contracts either you have or you are going to, or you're thinking about it. Like, the energy's there. You may be ending a job, right? Something to kind of pursue your own thing. But also with like the gossip and I feel like you guys have just really, as a collective though, we've been ascending at such a rapid rate that we're really starting to look at like everything, all the energies in our lives, but more specifically all the people in our lives, the type of conversations we have with our friends, are they serving our highest good, like that kind of thing. You're not about gossip anymore, that's I heard somewhere once, somewhere along the lines of, those that are still operating more so in, and I don't say this in a demeaning way, but those that are still operating in the lower vibrations, I was going to say lower dimensions, but at least those that are operating, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense, right, in the lower levels, if you will, of this game. A lot of people, a lot of that, or we could just say you'll find a lot more people gossiping and, doing, just doing things they really don't, aren't, what I mean? It's things that aren't serving really anyone any good, or the community any good, so anyway, so let's move in here. Star right off the bat, super gorgeous to start off your week. The star to me is really, again, you guys just have such hope, like something is around the corner, you're positive of it. Major Arcana 17. Okay, so that could be important. Possibly even 8 could be important to you. But this is also speaking to guidance, very importantly. And with the High Priestess there, I feel like your guides really are, I don't know, there's just some type of message here to, allow yourself to be guided, which is essentially following your intuition. This is coming in as overall energy. And we have the Hermit. That is so awesome. 2 major arcana, guys. So, I don't know. We saw the 4 of Swords as well. So perhaps some of you in the collective, I don't know. Some of you are being called right now to take a rest. And you'll know that if you've been feeling really just exhausted, or if you feel like that you've been putting your energy in places that perhaps you could be kind of putting back in yourself, or maybe taking a little bit of time to if you're always running around, just simple example, and you feel like you can't even have time to clean your house or do smaller things like that. But the star, the Hermit's lantern contains the star. It's just, you guys are very wise, just very stoic. It's like I think I said it earlier, you know that something's around the corner, I was talking about the art of the law of assumption. You do know, but there's still, again, some type of imbalance here, and we're going to take a look at what that is, because this is coming in as in the energy of, or in the area of advice. But for challenges, the Hierophant, you got major arcanas out the wazoo here. The Hierophant, major arcana number 4, right? Am I correct? Oops, 5. 4 is the Emperor. Again, coming in as challenges. So yeah, this could be something at the workplace where you just feel like you're because the Hierophant can speak to ways of doing things, having perhaps higher ups, or the chain of command type of thing, where you have to like answer to someone. And and that is the challenge for you. You're ready to, look at these two characters there, and they're, it's like they're having to always answer to someone, in perhaps a position that this person, it's like one of those things where like, honestly, how did this person get this position? It's that kind of thing. But it needs to be done. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things where like, it's I want to do my own thing. I want to plant a seed, watch it grow, and just watch it become successful, abundant, fruitful. I have not seen this yet. This is coming in as opportunities. Okay, so opportunities. And mind you, this is for the week of Monday, June 9th. All right, the Page of Wands, which I think came out earlier in the pre-shuffle, amongst all those cards. Yes, it did for sure, and I do recall. So again, back to creativity, okay? The Page of Wands, it also speaks, that it speaks to a message. So coming in the place of opportunity, I mean, it's either you guys put a message out there and get the ball rolling, or a message comes into you, or maybe there's like a meeting you're supposed to have this week, something like that. Yeah, notice how we were talking about all the here, so Hierophant, so another figure essentially that has that's kind of holding up some type of, well, for him, I'm going to say a scepter. But guys, so back to the Page of Wands, for your opportunities here in the week ahead. I mean, this really just speaks to fresh ideas, cheerfulness, energy, fearlessness, and extroversion. So I think you guys are going to be it's like something's going to click and you're going to start to kind of put yourself out there a bit more. The Page of Wands represents sparks of creativity, inspiration, and energy. So you guys have big goals, and eagerness to achieve your dreams. But soon you will receive good news, or have new opportunities that just, are just going to income. Or they're just going to income. They're just going to like come into your reality, into your existence. And this literally is telling you that now is the best time to start a project. Now's the best time to successfully start a project, to be clear. 9 of Cups, this is coming in the area of your advice. So I did want to touch on this here a little bit. The 9 of Cups, that's, for me, he's my manifestation card. The character in the card, you can, where was I going? He's emotionally fulfilled, and you can see how happy. I mean, he's just sitting there in a pleasant energy, because he knows his wishes are coming true. There's, so he's content and satisfied. He's not worried. He's not wondering about the when. He is currently appreciating his love life, even if he is in a romantic connection or not. And again, you still have recognition and respect at work for those that you, how was I going to say it? For those that you report to, okay? So, I mean, it's like your energy is like spot on, but there's so much more than the current, situation that may be occurring right now. But, so the fact that the nine of Cups, came in on its side, it does speak to somehow, it's like there's something here, there's an imbalance in terms of, again, allowing the manifestations to just pop off, right? And that could, I lost what I was going to say, that could be, it's, again, you may be falling into the the energy of sometimes feeling like, you're at the point where you haven't really successfully manifested where you want to be right now. And it may just be like getting in touch with what truly matters. Like there's something bigger out there. You're just kind of still carving your path and finding your way. Again, you're still planting the seed. So don't be too hard on yourself, because I think that's essentially kind of what's just kind of has you a little, off course, if you will. So just continue to reflect on the mark that you want to make on the world. And a good starting point might be to think about how you can contribute to others, if that so resonates with you. And also, whether you may roll your eyes at me, but reconnecting with loved ones may be especially helpful for the majority of you at this time. Even if it's like just, calling mom or something like that. Like I think I was saying in the beginning of the video, I called my mom on the way home, and it's been a few weeks since I've spoken to her on the phone. So I'm definitely not the type of daughter that like calls their parents every day type of thing. So but anyway, it was very nice talking to her again, and she gave me she actually re-energized me to just get a reading in today. And as I said that, see, I was all popping the star all over the place, and her T's be out. But again, obviously nudity in tarot is not supposed to be of a suggestive sexual nature to like turn one on type of thing. I mean, it's more so of just life, like the human body, just very simply. But again, so that's why I need to figure out my next step there again, either with the stickers or a new deck. But I'm gonna leave it there for now, guys. I hope you found some messages in today's reading, and I will see you next week. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.